In the past, every night, Lin Van was overwhelmed by dating invitations and unable to fend off the endless toasts. If luck was not on his side that day, he would end up competing with other fish in the pond, requiring a bit of effort and some sophisticated acting skills to navigate through successfully. But now, things were different. He was just a fallen star, reduced to a mere ordinary celebrity. Aside from the rumors and a reputation that was worse than mud in the eyes of the public, there was still something left. Yes, money. Having a lot of money could turn the mundane daily life into a colorful spectacle. Because he had spent so much money last night, while he was engrossed in conversation with Boss Song, he was pulled into the fan forums by Sophia Tran's manager and then into the VIP forum. Both forums were bustling, and within just a few minutes notifications would shoot up to 999 plus. The forum was filled with loyal fans of Sophia Tran. Lin Van tried once again to befriend Sophia Tran but was met with the same rejection. He pondered for a moment and then entered the VIP forum to ask, "What's the difference between this VIP forum and the other fan forum?" His overly extravagant behavior yesterday, when he spent over 100,000 in just 5 minutes, left a deep impression on the viewers, raising questions about life. Thus, the news of Nick AM being showered with gifts by a wealthy patron spread like a domino effect throughout the Alluring Voice community. Even the ID user 397-9Q0, which he was too lazy to change, was remembered by many singers and fans. The Alluring Voice circle was quite different from the entertainment industry. The Alluring Voice had only recently emerged in the last 20 years, so it was still in a phase of development and explosion, with wealth and fame becoming increasingly exaggerated. Therefore, right after he posed a single question in the VIP forum, Lin Van found his messages being bombarded. Fans of Alluring Voice flocked in, creating such a commotion that the administrators had to step in to control the situation, and even some different singers sent messages to recommend themselves. The scene was reminiscent of the selection process for emperors in ancient times. This abundance of choices suddenly reminded Lin Van of his once flourishing. No corresponding translation found. This abundance of choices suddenly reminded Lin Van of his once flourishing lifestyle. He squinted in satisfaction, adjusted his voice, and produced a greasy tone. "Hey, good evening. Have you finally taken a liking to me today, Lin Van?" His mood, which had just improved a little, plummeted back to zero. He leaned back on the sofa and tapped a few times on his phone. "Lin Van." Finally, he downed half a glass of brandy in front of him, resigned to fate, and returned to the VIP fan forum. It was a pity he couldn't make himself suffer. He still came to check the situation. Sophia Tran and his fans were indeed different. One side was aloof while the other was enthusiastic. Just a moment ago, when Lin Van asked a question in the forum, he received numerous responses, which were both thorough and thoughtful. Is this the little brother who just spent 300,000 yesterday? Mom, I finally get to see a rich man alive. QAQ little brother, the VIP forum is actually for member fans. There will be benefits. Rich brother, do you know you're famous now? XS. I guess little brother's messages are definitely being bombarded right now. What benefits does the member fan forum offer? For example, if fans spend a lot of money on gifts, do they get the benefit of listening to a soothing video? I'm not promoting him. I just want him to soothe me to sleep. The accounts that were wildly spamming in the forum suddenly paused for a moment. After waiting for a long time, Lin Van typed. Most fans in the forum were enamored with the Alluring Voice, to the point of having rich experience, but they had never encountered a wealthy patron as straightforward as Lin Van. After the noise became deafening, the fans in the forum fell into a collective silence. Gradually, a few people began to speak up. Although I've never had such thoughts about Boss, I'm still just a simple girl. Is the little brother that bold? Not even daring to joke with us. But Boss's voice really can only be admired from afar. I don't know anymore. He had always been a person with strong goals, never wasting his time on meaningless matters. As he was about to find the exit of the forum in the upper right corner, an administrator immediately at him. Big Orange. Little brother, please stop. Although there are no benefits once Boss sings in this forum, he will at the entire forum, and you might even know the first song he sings. Little brother, don't go Big Pink Grape. Yes, little brother, don't leave. Boss is about to sing just 3 minutes away. Lin Van immediately withdrew his hand and gently typed. Just joking a bit. The atmosphere in the forum is very warm and I really like it. How could I leave the forum? After a minute, Lin Van. What's the name of that Alluring Voice program? The most recent celebrity, who jumped straight from obscurity to the top 3 of the Alluring Voice, Nick AM, has always been among the top discussion topics among fans in the Alluring Voice community. Unlike other Alluring Voices, Nick AM seemed to have achieved a miracle from being a nobody. No form of advertising could match its effectiveness. The moment that truly made Nick AM famous and raised its reputation was when Sophia Tran joined. With his personal strength alone, Nick AM, which initially had only a few thousand viewers, immediately soared to the top of the most watched rankings, with viewers mesmerized by the singer's alluring voice to the point of forgetting their way back. Sophia Tran was irreplaceable. From his voice to his communication style and personal qualities, once someone was captivated, they would feel a significant difference compared to others. Thanks to his personal strength, Sophia Tran directly upgraded Nick AM to a new height. In the room, the viewers who initially intended to pull his cloak off ended up with nothing. Apart from the two words Sophia Tran in the room, he appeared from nothingness to a level of detachment that was hard to describe. Even for fans, the distance between them and him felt like an insurmountable vast space. Each week he only broadcast 3 sessions at fixed times, sometimes even taking breaks for various reasons. If one wanted to listen to the live broadcast, they had to fight for a spot. When Lin Van entered the room, it was also the moment Sophia Tran took the stage. The cramped room filled with tens of thousands of people, comments flying across the screen like a storm. As soon as Lin Van entered the room, a series of welcome notifications were quickly overshadowed by other comments, but even so, many people still recognized him. Music Lemon. Hey, Rich Brother is really here. Baby number 1. How much is the big boss planning to spend today? QQ, I have to prepare to turn on special mode to follow along. My phone froze yesterday. QQ. Silent Peach. Little brother must have come with Sophia Tran, right? I just saw him enter. Clear CC. Rich Brother also came to check out my little singer. His voice is deep and warm. Once you hear it, you'll remember it forever. Floral Me. I also want to recommend my idol. Brother, come check it out. My place can still let you sleep over after singing. Savory Tofu. You guys can stop dreaming. He's clearly focused on Boss Dina, can't you see that? User 39U7A9Q0. Exactly. I'm here just to support Sophia Tran. I came here because of him. User 39U7A9Q0 just sent 20 family flowers to Sophia Tran. What song will Sophia Tran sing today? Can he sing Hush? TV. Has this rich guy started to get serious already? You started before I could even record, so annoying. I was wrong. I also want to hear Hush. I feel the same, I can't resist. If Boss is willing to sing, I can leave in peace after hearing it. The special effect from 20 family flowers continued to stir up the chat room, especially with so many people present. After a while Sophia Tran spoke up, his voice tinged with a hint of regret. I'm sorry, I don't know how to sing that song. Although the refusal was very polite, Sophia Tran's voice made Lin Van unable to feel angry. That voice, hoarse, deep, warm and gentle, yet carrying an elegant demeanor, had a natural charm. It perfectly matched Lin Van's aesthetic, almost hitting every point he loved. However, each word spoken made Lin Van feel uncomfortable, as what he wanted was a song from Sophia Tran. Yet he still wouldn't give in to his wishes. Sophia Tran gently began to speak, his voice carrying an innate distance. There's no need to send so many gifts. I roughly understand what songs you all want me to sing, but unfortunately, I cannot fulfill that wish. His tone wasn't too cold, but it wasn't entirely gentle either. It was as if he carried a layer of glass, elegant yet unreachable. He paused for a moment, then continued. Today I still thank everyone for coming to listen to me sing. I will sing this song. A gentle instrumental began to play, and he started to sing The Mountains. The lyrics resonated, making Lin Van even more enamored with that voice. Life hasn't gone as expected, so why rush? Gliding over the mountains, only to find no one is waiting. The gentle murmurs of that year, where are they now? The gentle murmurs of that year, where are they now? Each line carried a sentiment, drawing the listeners into a solitary and dreamy space. Lin Van, who had been leisurely listening, suddenly found himself drawn in deeper. That voice was like a thread, wrapping around him gently while making his heart tremble intensely. Lin Van raised his hand to light a cigarette. The smoke curled in the air, lingering around him. The image of Sophia Tran still echoed in his mind, as if it could not be erased. He relaxed, dreamily closed his eyes and gently exhaled smoke. The light from the dim lamps in the living room illuminated Lin Van's face, creating a hazy silhouette, almost like the smoke slowly merging into the air. The feeling of loneliness wrapped around him once more. In that moment, the sound from his phone rang out again. Sophia Tran had finished singing. Lin Van lazily glanced at the screen, still in no rush to reply. No need to hurry, he murmured to himself. The deep blue flame flickered up. The glowing ash brightened for a moment before quickly falling into the crystal ashtray between Lin Van's pale fingers. He hadn't expected that singer Sophia Tran would choose this song, but in his past, when he was still walking on a path strewn with roses, someone had sung this song just before dying. Lin Van, you never really loved me. Even for a minute, a second, you wouldn't spare a thought for anyone. I love you. But I crossed the mountains, only to realize too late that there was no one waiting. It turned out there was indeed a bit of similarity. But I crossed the mountains, only to realize too late that there was no one waiting. It turned out there was indeed a bit of similarity. Lin Van had never thought he was inferior to anyone in love, but the truth was in a situation like Soren Day, one would ultimately have moments where they couldn't escape favoritism. User 39U7A9Q0 sent 99 baskets of flowers to Sophia Tran. User 39U7A9Q0 sent 99 baskets of flowers to Sophia Tran. User 39U7A9Q0 sent 99 baskets of flowers to Sophia Tran. Sophia Tran's song had ended, but nearly 300 baskets of flowers continued to be thrown up, along with the voice filling the screen. The mysterious host on Niche AM continued to spam 1 million messages, making viewers feel like they were participating in a noisy melon-eating session. The number of people in the voice chat had nearly reached 90,000, but it continued to rise steadily. Eventually, in the room, the number of people stabilized at 140,000. Meanwhile, the live broadcast room Niche AM had soared from rank 7 straight to the top position. This is really amazing, Niche AM, so amazing. Boss Q0 is truly at the top. Oh my god. I'm about to die. These past few days I've also wanted to break the news about my little one. Big Boss Q0, please look at me. Q0 Gitch, tell me what you want to hear. I will kneel down and be a singer for you. Look at my news. The atmosphere in the broadcast room was truly lively, with everyone showing great interest and encouragement, creating an energetic space. Encouragement, rainbow farts, and pulling people into the group were endless. Sounds good. I like listening. Sophia Tran Gitch, can you give me some benefits? As an important person in the room, the 2 sentences Lin Van just commented on were immediately copy-pasted and quickly spread everywhere. Good, having money makes it easy to eat well. Is this your approach to love? Super want to eat spicy. In 2 days it will be enough to reach 2 million, boss. You should get married. Sweet and sour. I feel really embarrassed. You can't just rely on money to do this. Sophia Tran would definitely feel uncomfortable. The entire broadcast room was now filled with a festive atmosphere. The audience was too numerous, and the amount of gifts flooding in caused the connection to lag. The host hurriedly tried to mediate. Haha, anyway, it's lagging now. Boss Tran, seeing how strong their offense is, do you want to show some attitude? Sophia Tran casually replied. No need, I'm not interested in that aspect. The comments exploded, and many couldn't help but spam. After finishing his last word, Sophia Tran decisively exited the live stream. The host, almost beautiful on the sandy shore. XS as expected of Boss Tran, the reaction is just right. First moved, then a firm rejection. He, Rococo. The atmosphere has been broken, sisters. Shy T. My toes are curled up so much that I could carve a whole castle, but what does he think that throwing money can win over the boss? I really don't understand. The host was also very embarrassed. He didn't dare to offend the big boss who had just thrown money around wildly. Nor could he upset Sophia Tran. He cautiously asked. So it seems, Boss Q0, do you want to try finding another singer in the hall that you like? User 39U7A9Q0. It's okay. User 39U7A9Q0. I will become a singer in the room. User 39U7A9Q0. Then be together with Sophia Tran. The host. The audience was curious. Lin, who had just thrown down a shocking statement, successfully fizzled out. But at this moment in the live broadcast room without Sophia Tran, listening to the audio no longer held any special appeal for Lin Van. After showering, he opened the fridge and took out a bottle of dragon tongue wine, pouring it together with half a bottle of gin left over from before, then walked barefoot upstairs, returning to his bedroom. Adding ice to the glass softened the alcohol's taste. The strong flavor of the liquor was masked by the rich taste on the tip of his tongue, making it hard to stop. From the 270-degree floor-to-ceiling window of the bedroom, to the north, the twinkling lights reflected on the City B's protective river, while to the west was the most bustling night scene of Sifong City. The best location. This house was the compensation that the Gavin Kent family had given him when they first found this real young master. At that time, Gavin Kent and Tara Fern were in their most guilty phase. Along with that luxurious house, they also compensated him with a lot of money, and promised to bring him home to live as a family. Unfortunately, time passed too long. They gradually realized he couldn't endear himself to others like Jessie Duke, couldn't compare to Jessie Duke, who had been betrothed to Ella Chan since childhood, and couldn't become someone everyone was satisfied with. Love doesn't disappear. It just shifts from one place to another. But guilt does exist. Lin Van raised his wine bottle, clinking glasses with the moon. His skin, originally pale, absorbed the alcohol, spreading through every inch of his lungs, causing that pale complexion to gradually take on a faint rosy hue. The phone tossed on the carpet automatically spun twice. The screen lit up, indicating a new message. Lin Van picked it up and opened it. The first message was from Austin Tong. No wonder the entertainment industry used to say you have the top-tier physique asterisk. Wherever you go, it's a storm of blood and gore. Today you just said a few words in the main hall, And I've been busy until now. So tired I miss you. Want to watch the video? Lin Van closed the chat interface and continued to open the next message. It was from Dylan Bloom, Jesse Duke's manager. Almost forgot this person was also his manager. To be straightforward, the recent big name from the D family isn't suitable for you. Too many scandals. If it gets dug up again it'll be hard to look at. I'll switch it to Jesse Duke. * top tier. A term in the Chinese entertainment industry referring to stars with extremely high popularity and influence. A few seconds later, Dylan Bloom. Oh right, you've been losing resources a lot lately. In a few days there's a wine party for the city's entrepreneurs. There will be many wealthy big shots attending. Do you want to go? Eliminating green tea is everyone's duty. Lin Van squinted, his fingers slowly typing each word. No more green tea, the world is lovely again. After finishing, he decisively blocked Dylan Bloom. The time had turned to early morning. The night was quietly but strangely bright. The headache from the alcohol kept Lin Van tossing and turning in bed, unable to sleep. Finally, he decided to go downstairs to grab a bottle of water. He leaned against the floor-to-ceiling window, sitting down on the soft sheep-wool carpet, realizing there was nothing left to do. He sat there in a daze for a while. Lin Van ran his fingers through his hair, reached for his phone, intending to see if Sophia Tran had any recordings. But as soon as he opened the interface, messages flooded in, nearly overwhelming him. He reached out to scroll through the pile of messages, but accidentally tapped on a voice message. A low, slightly hoarse voice came through, carrying a hint of laziness, but it was quite different from Sophia Tran's gentle tone. If he had to compare, this voice was probably much younger than Sophia Tran's, lacking some of the steadiness. Those words struck a particularly resonant chord. Will Big Brother come to see you? Please. Big Brother is the best. Can you? Please, I'm begging you. Please, please, love you. Big Brother, I don't care, I want it. After listening once, Lin Van pressed play again. He squinted slightly, his gaze lingering on the displayed name. Sophie Day. Sophie Day. Lin Van opened the chat window and typed a message. How old are you? The other side quickly replied. 19. Is Big Brother still not asleep? Lin Van continued to ask. Still in college. Sophie Day sent a voice message. Yeah, just out earning a bit of pocket money. Am I bothering you while you're trying to rest? Lin Van. Not at all. Just making more friends. In the chat window, the icons for transferring money and sending red envelopes immediately appeared. After the friend request was accepted, Lin Van promptly transferred 50,000 directly. Lin Van. A gift for our first meeting. Darling, let's meet on the stream tomorrow, and make sure to sing well. The other side didn't accept the money right away. It took a while before they pressed confirm. Although the voice still lacked maturity and confidence, it carried a rare youthful vibrancy of a teenager. The tone was somewhat similar, but it could also be considered a decent alternative. Lin Van sighed softly. What had he done wrong? He just wanted to give a poor male student a bit of warmth from home. After agreeing with Austin Tong about joining Niche Sound, Lin Van had to rearrange his schedule once again. First, in a few days he had to show up at Huang Chao, a place about to close down. Whether there was work or not didn't matter. What was important was witnessing the tragic drama of the main character firsthand. In his life, Lin Van had never had the chance to see a high-level melodrama in real life, so he was determined to witness this miraculous plot unfold with Jasmine Yu and Ella Chan. Next, he needed to find time to get acquainted with Niche Sound. This was something that made him feel extremely annoyed. His time was already tight, fragmented by trivial matters. Now he had to carve out a few hours to squeeze in new tasks, which was truly headache-inducing. Moreover, if it weren't for Sophia Tran, then this time could be flexibly adjusted. Lin Van lay face down on the soft rubber mattress, propping his chin up as he looked at the schedule he had just reluctantly arranged. Morning at 11 o'clock. Get out of bed. After that, wash up, eat. Noon, take a short nap. Sleep for 3 hours. Afternoon at 5 o'clock. Get out of bed again. After that, call Brockshong, both comforting and probing for any hot news. Wash up, eat again. Play games for 2 hours. Evening from 8 to 11 o'clock. Go live on Niche Sound. Parentheses. Only when Sophia Tran is available. In his free time he thought if he got too bored he could support a new rookie, find another replacement. A pure college student like Sophie Day was like a small boat just setting sail. If he still felt bored, then teasing Austin Tong a bit would also be fine. Lin Van picked up a pencil and meticulously checked each item on the newly created schedule. Finally, he left a blank space beside it and gave himself a score of 100. Truly perfect. He was indeed a master of time management. Lin Van casually tossed the schedule aside, comfortably rolling over on the bed, revealing his pale, somewhat lifeless skin. His long fingers glided over the spacious mattress, fumbling for a while before finding his phone. Lin Van logged into the voice app, skillfully creating a new small account. Looking at the string of automatically generated characters in the username, He thought for a moment and changed it to Darling Sophie Day. The main account and the secondary account were completely unlinked, not following each other, and registered with a different phone number. This way, no matter what, no one could trace any clues. Lin Van was very satisfied, then opened WeChat, poking Austin Tong. I fell asleep last night and didn't see your message, but I dreamed about you. What were you doing? At this moment, Austin Tong was participating in the weekly online conference held 4 times on the Voice channel. The singers in the main hall along with the marketing and editing team were all present, except for Sophia Tran. The phone screen lit up in an instant. Just as Austin Tong was about to say something, he suddenly paused. The first thought that flashed in his mind was, it seems Ella-chan still doesn't care about him. That's good. Austin Tong was a businessman, and a businessman had no reason to refuse a request to join the Voice channel from Lin Van, especially since he had taken the initiative to take responsibility for all profits and losses. Moreover, in just 2 days, Lin Van had brought an explosive surge of traffic to Niche Sound. Similarly, he had no reason to refuse the additional requests made by Lin Van, although those requests were somewhat excessive and bold. But Ella-chan would never respond to Lin Van anyway. So, even though there was a bit of guilt, that slight moral constraint ultimately wasn't enough to stop him. Austin Tong quickly regained his composure. After returning to the meeting, he still remembered to reply to Lin Van, "What did you dream about me?" But the other side didn't respond right away. It wasn't until the sharing session about the new activity plan ended, and the first round of discussion was completed, just as Austin Tong was preparing to speak, Lin Van suddenly sent an image. It wasn't until the sharing session about the new activity plan ended, and the first round of discussion was completed, just as Austin Tong was preparing to speak, Lin Van suddenly sent an image. It was a suggestive, bold photo, even somewhat provocative. The loose and thin nightgown was lifted, revealing pale skin. His long, slender fingers lazily traced the curves of his body, slowly moving towards the edge of the photo, as if just a light touch away from revealing something even more stimulating. After that, the other side suddenly went silent. Then after a while, Lin Van sent a message. "Is it beautiful?" Perhaps finding typing too troublesome, this time he directly sent a voice message. The voice coming from the speaker was youthful, innocent, and carried a hint of purity, clear and bright. It was unclear what Lin Van was doing on the other side, but his breath seemed a bit hurried, as if he had just finished some physical activity. The voice message began to play. In the already enchanting tone, Lin Van chuckled softly, his voice lazy yet deeply captivating. However, it wasn't just Austin Tong who heard it. The entire online meeting room of Niche Sound heard it too, clear and distinct. "What did you dream about me?" "I dreamed you let me touch." By the end of the sentence, Lin Van's voice trailed off, the tail end swallowed by himself, leaving only a faint husky sound, carrying a hint of ambiguous allure. He lowered his voice, slowly saying, "Brock, when are you coming back? I miss you." The entire Niche Sound meeting room, except for Sophia Tran, was forced to listen to this public flirting session in its entirety. Not only did they hear it, but they heard it very clearly, very distinctly, and very surely, that their boss, 1. is a man, 2. has a youthful voice, very cute, 3. knows how to act spoiled, 4. and is incredibly alluring. The meeting room fell into silence for a few seconds. Then, a young singer who had just entered the room suddenly exclaimed in the silence, "Is this our boss's wife? Is this our boss's wife?" And immediately after, he blurted out in a panic, "Sorry boss. I'm hard now. I need to deal with this." "What are you going to deal with?" Austin Tong's voice turned cold. He raised an eyebrow, his tone clearly carrying a bit of pressure. "What do you want to deal with?" The online meeting room immediately fell completely silent. The Song family is a prominent family in City B. Austin Tong, being familiar with the business world, had always been skillful and flexible, knowing when to advance and when to retreat. Moreover, Niche Sound was merely a side gig, so he didn't care too much. Several veteran employees immediately jumped in to mediate. The young singer quickly realized he had misspoken, flustered and apologizing. "Sorry, President Tong, I was just joking. I'll be more careful next time." Even Ella-chan couldn't explain the sudden anger that had surged within him just now. He took a breath, adjusting his emotions. When he spoke again, his tone had returned to that of a gentle boss. "So what exactly are you planning to deal with?" "I was just joking too." Even Ella-chan couldn't understand the inexplicable anger he had just felt. He quickly adjusted his emotions, regaining his calm and gentle demeanor. He smiled, his tone light. "So what are you really going to do?" "I'm just joking." After that, Austin Tong changed the subject. "By the way, CC, I have a new singer who just passed the review yesterday. Bring him into the group." CC, the assistant manager responsible for handling issues in the meeting room, was a bit surprised. "There was a review yesterday? How come I didn't know?" Austin Tong replied nonchalantly, Special channel. CC was taken aback for a few seconds, then suddenly reacted, astonished. Wait. Special what? Don't tell me the boss put his wife in there. Then he burst out laughing, teasing. Aren't you afraid someone else will snatch her away? Wait. Special what? Don't tell me the boss put his wife in there. Then he burst out laughing, teasing. Aren't you afraid someone else will snatch her away? Austin Tong. It was indeed the case. Unfortunately, he couldn't say it out loud. He paused for a moment, then replied casually, No, it's a fan of Jasmine Yu from these past few days. The entire meeting room suddenly fell silent. After spending $1 million like water over 2 days, the rich brother had suddenly vanished without a trace. Hearing Austin Tong say this, everyone was stunned. CC was shocked. He really joined the group just to pursue Jasmine Yu? Then he frowned. No boss, you can't just do it for that little money. Austin Tong. You said every time a task is completed, it multiplies by 5 times, and you even create a clone account yourself. CC immediately reacted. Then that's perfect. I'll bring him in right away. Tomorrow I'll arrange for him to duet a love song with Jasmine Yu. Everyone. ? Every profession has its own rules, and the singing industry is no exception. 15 minutes before the broadcast starts, there is a dedicated time for singers to receive gifts. The so-called gift quota is the minimum revenue each singer needs to achieve after each broadcast. But that doesn't matter. After all, Lin Van only needs to see Jasmine Yu open. The so-called gift quota is the minimum revenue each singer needs to achieve after each broadcast. But that doesn't matter. After all, Lin Van only needs to see Jasmine Yu open the mic and will immediately chase after him. He came here for Jasmine Yu. If you don't seize this rare opportunity, what meaning is there left? Recently, Nina Amory has been soaring like a kite in the wind. Despite the strict review requirements, a slew of new singers have joined. All singers in the voice segment must have names that adhere to a fixed standard. After much contemplation, Lin Van couldn't come up with a name that was both valid and expressed his sincere love for Sophia Tran. In the end, he lazily chose a character from his own name. As a true rookie, Lin Van had no understanding of the rules of the voice segment, but he always knew how to handle interpersonal relationships. Before going live, he slipped a generous red envelope to the host, asking for a little help. Coincidentally, the original host was absent today, so the deputy manager CC Smith was temporarily on duty. Sensing the power of money, CC Smith immediately dug out an old rule document and sent it back to Lin Van. CC Smith. Once you understand it, just hum along. Lin Van. Fortunately, the document was only 2 pages long, and after skimming through it, he got a rough idea of the job's content. In summary, each session lasts an hour. Each singer performs 1 song, taking turns to go live. Lin Van immediately sent 30,000 to the person scheduled after Sophia Tran, asking, Hey, can you swap spots with me? The other person. Sometimes, the distance between people is simply the power of money. Not only did he successfully change positions, but Lin Van also placed himself right next to Sophia Tran. In the live broadcast room, Sophia Tran was always the shining star, with nearly half the listeners tuning in just for him. Therefore, when they saw Lin Van go live right after Sophia Tran, everyone immediately shifted their attention to him. The two completely contrasting styles. Sophia Tran, like a classic inkwash painting, calm and elegant. Lin Van, like a lively, bright golden Pikachu, impossible to ignore. The explosion of comments. Lila Sweet. There's a newcomer. Let's interview him. How does it feel to sit next to the pillar on your first live broadcast? Maya Coconut. This newcomer looks refreshingly different. Oh my god. Kira Brown, what the heck? Grape iced tea? Maya Coconut. Everyone, quickly check the profile of this newcomer. What the heck? This is Pubase from 2 days ago. I'm genuinely shocked. What kind of plot twist is this? The sugar daddy couldn't make it, so he became a colleague to get close to his crush? Touching love? If I were Sophia Tran, I would be disgusted to death. The news sugar daddy goes crazy spending hundreds of thousands, unable to pursue, then joins the voice segment spread like wildfire, causing a stir in the voice segment. Lin Van hadn't even turned on his mic yet, but the listener count had already hit a record high. Austin Tong watched the numbers on the screen soar, his expression unreadable. Ella-chan is here. I shouldn't need to worry. But clearly, since Lin Van arrived, this place felt like it had been swept by a whirlwind. Nothing was stable anymore. Austin Tong picked up his phone and opened the chat window between the two. Since that recording, Lin Van hadn't sent any more messages all afternoon. What was he doing? Would he think of him? Or was he still thinking about Ella-chan? Austin Tong typed a few words in the chat box, ready to send, but just then, the host mentioned Sophia Tran's name. The number of online viewers in Nina Amory had surpassed 150,000. Ella-chan's voice in the mic was 3 parts less cold, becoming deeper and huskier. Below the stage, listeners and the crowd eagerly spamming comments caused the chat window to flicker incessantly. But on the mic, Sophia Tran's emotions and tone remained completely steady, still as solid and calm as ever, making Lin Van like him even more. Sophia Tran took the mic from the host, tested the sound a bit, then said, "I'm sorry everyone, I have work tomorrow, so I will cancel the broadcast tomorrow night. Today, I'll sing one extra song." Lin Van instinctively turned up the volume. "Today, I'll sing this song. It was Gió thổi sóng lúa," an old song. Lin Van didn't particularly like this song. He preferred to hear Sophia Tran sing songs with a bit of edge using that slightly husky, low voice. Perhaps at his core, Lin Van simply liked the type of timbre that struck the right emotional chord. Unfortunately, Sophia Tran didn't want to satisfy him at that moment, but it was fine. He had plenty of patience.
Nina Amori giọng nói thính. Hạ nhân viên.
Gifted Sophia Tran 99 flowers. The chat room immediately exploded. Oh my gosh. Suddenly feeling a bit moved. The sugar daddy is pursuing his dream for love. Now at least 99 flowers are needed to be satisfied. Sister above, you're not alone. A real love story of a rich person is unfolding right before our eyes, and we get to watch it live for free. So it means poor, lonely, aloof, husky voice Gong Time's noble, proactive, dedicated sugar daddy show, right? This CP doesn't seem very trendy, huh? It could also just be a one-sided crush from the convenience show. Praying for Sophia Tran to remain single and beautiful. The comment section was chaotic like a tornado. Meanwhile, Lin Van remained calm and composed. In terms of psychological quality, Lin Van felt he might be one of the strongest contenders among the 150,000 listeners in the voice segment. 1 Van equals 10,000. Sophia Tran, as usual, showed no reaction to the explosive comments in the broadcast room. He simply paused a bit when handing back the mic and then spoke. "From today onwards, all gifts and bonuses in my broadcast room will be donated to the Red Cross, supporting the development of children in domestic border areas. The specific amount and direction will be disclosed in the room. Thank you everyone." As soon as he finished speaking, the room erupted. It should be noted that while the voice segment doesn't earn money as shockingly as the entertainment industry, the income of the key singers in the room is still quite substantial. Even after deducting the share with the platform, the final number is still not small. Moreover, with the presence of Lin Van, a sugar daddy who throws down hundreds of thousands at once, making money really doesn't require much effort. But when Sophia Tran said he would donate, he meant it. Cookie dipper. I suddenly feel like the sisters were wrong earlier. This couple might actually be Noble Aloof Xiaogong's Noble Playboy show instead. Green apples. Damn. Looking at it this way makes it seem way more reasonable. Trending up. Divine whipped cream. Anyway, I think Sophia Tran has already coldly rejected it. Brother, if not, why don't you try looking at my singer? Divine whipped cream. Anyway, I think Sophia Tran has already coldly rejected it. Brother, if not, why don't you try looking at my singer? The next person to go live was Lin Van. Although the atmosphere had just been dampened by Sophia Tran, Lin Van had never had the word shy in his vocabulary. Lin Van took the microphone, his voice leisurely yet unashamed. So here's the thing, many little treasures just recognized me. Yes, it's me. I'm the one who came here to pursue Sophia Tran. His tone was as natural as ever, carrying a hint of a smile. I have a very clear plan. First, be colleagues, then ship the CP. Next, become lovers, and finally break up. Everyone. The atmosphere in the chat room seemed to pause for a second. Lin Van remained unfazed. I don't sing very well, and I'm not from a professional background. I don't sing very well, and I'm not from a professional background. He thought for a moment, then continued, but to show my sincerity to Sophia Tran, I've prepared a self-composed poem to read expressively. Everyone. Without hesitation, Lin Van started playing a * BGM he had selected in advance. * background music. The atmosphere is filled with a strange vibe. Without a hint of embarrassment, he began his performance. Lin Van passionately recited poetry, pouring all her emotions into each line. Oh, Sophia Tran. My treasure, my precious treasure. From the first time I saw you, you stormed into my heart like a tempest. You are like a wild boy roaming the prairie, majestic and powerful. I love you, like a mouse loves rice. No matter how much rain and wind there is, I will. Who? Beep. Sophia Tran left the room. The broadcast room exploded. Little pig hates Odin hot pot. Does anyone in the house understand this? Sophia Tran has been in the listening room for 2 months, and this is the first time he just naturally left the room. I took crazy pictures and I'm sharing them right now. Shrimp roll. This love letter is too explosive. If it were me, I would also leave the room. This segment has reached maximum effectiveness. The entire chat room was laughing so hard they were leaning back.